Oh, there she is.
Yep. Hey, Angela.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good deal. We are I won't say experiencing technical difficulty. We're just learning the ropes. Maybe that's the best way to describe it. So it's right at 7. It's like 7:01. So I guess we'll give folks a few minutes. It is recording at this time, so for anybody that misses it, we can have them join us and listen in at a later time. Okay, let's see. I'm going to try to navigate this. Chris, do you want to take notes so we'll know who all's on the call? Do you want to do that?
I can do that.
Okay, sure. Good deal.
Okay, hold on.
So we can just go around the room if you would, and kind of say who we are and what team we're with, etc., so that we'll know who all's on the call in case we want to have a conversation, answer questions, hear comments, or whatever. I'm Angela Miller. I'm Executive Director here at Coben Baton Rouge, and we have some of our race committee members on the line, and I'm going to let them start by introducing themselves, and then everybody else just jump in. Chris, you want to go first?
Sure. I'm Christine Powell. I'm the treasurer on the board director, but most importantly, I am a team captain with Amy to help you guys be successful.
Yes, I can jump in. I'm Amy Nudis. I'm the coach with Chris. So hopefully we'll be able to give you guys some information, especially with some of the changing things this year, and be a resource for you guys.
Good deal. Who else is on the call?
I'm Leanne. I'm the team captain for Team Rebecca LeBlanc.
Hey, Leanne.
Hi, she's my sister who passed away July 31st from metastatic breast cancer.
Oh, wow.
Doing this all in honor of her.
We're glad you're here, and we're so sorry for the circumstances. So,
thank you.
Jennifer, you're on the call?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And Katie? Let's unmute Katie. Katie, can you hear us? Katie?
Can you hear me now?
I can.
Okay. All right. I'm figuring this out. I'm the team captain for the Rum House.
Oh, for the Rum House. Great. You guys are one of our corporate teams, and y'all are doing a good job so far. So good deal.
Thank you.
We're glad you guys are aboard this year again. So
thank you. Appreciate
anybody
it.
else?
I think that's all we got on here for the moment.
Okay, good deal. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll go ahead and get started. And I am going to attempt, you heard that word, attempt, to share my screen so that we can go through the presentation for the PowerPoint, and everybody will jump in and do their part a little bit. We're not a big crowd, so I don't necessarily totally to mute everybody. So somewhere along the way, if anybody has a question or whatever, you can just jump in and ask questions. So you guys, I'm gonna need a little help. Tell me, let's go. Tell me what you see. Do you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Click from start.
All right. So Jen, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Let's roll.
Did you hit from start?
What, sweetie?
Did you click from start?
From start. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
Okay. So I'm Jennifer Cortez, and I'm the Mission and Strategic Outreach Coordinator for the Baton Rouge affiliate of Susan G. Komen. And tonight we just wanted to share a little bit of information about kind of what our teams and what everyone who registers for the race is actually raising money for, in addition to kind of the stuff that's going to be happening at our race, all the changes. So first, I wanted to kind of fill y'all in on some changes that happened with Komen. In 2016, we launched a new bold goal. We released our new bold goal, and it's to reduce the number of breast cancer deaths by 50% in the U.S. by 2026. And this is a really big deal because when you look at the research shows that 1/3 of those deaths can be prevented through proper breast health education and early detection alone. And then the other 2/3 can be addressed through the research that we're doing to improve treatments and finding the cures. And so when we heard the bold goal, we really wanted to see how we can implement that in our service area, how we're working with the community. And we can go to the next slide.
Okay.
And so in addition to the bold goal, we revised our mission. And so our mission more accurately represents what we're doing both locally and internationally, I'll say, to work with the breast cancer community. And so our new mission statement is to save lives by meeting the most critical needs in our community and investing in breakthrough research to prevent and cure breast cancer. So locally, that first part is exactly what we do locally. Right now, we provide grant funding to Women's Hospital and Mary Bird Perkins. We provide grant funding for both of their mobile units to provide free screenings in our 10 parish service area. I apologize, my refrigerator makes weird noises. And then nationally, so 75% of what you raise stays local to help with those things, to provide funding for those things and to provide funding for breast health education and a treatment assistance fund that we'll be talking about later on. And then later on, probably after the race, Angela?
Oh, we can go in and tell people what we'll be funding.
Oh, yay.
Yeah,
So
we certainly can. Mm-hmm. I mean, the money is there. We've set it aside, and we're excited. I want to share it with everybody.
Okay. So we actually set aside some money in our upcoming budget, a nice little chunk of change, actually, to provide financial assistance for patients who are active in breast cancer treatment. And so what that is, there's a breast helpline. It's 1877-GO-KOMEN. And if you call that helpline and you reside in one of our 10 parishes that we serve, there's only 3 requirements. You have to have a breast cancer diagnosis, be active in treatment, and you have to have income at or below 250% of the federal poverty line. If you meet those 3 requirements and you need financial assistance, they can send you a check for $300 once a year. It's supposed to be like once a year max, but that's $300 that you can use for transportation assistance, to get lymphedema supplies, if you need child care assistance, elder care assistance, copay assistance. You can use that $300 for any type of assistance you need related to treatment. And so this is the first time that the affiliates have been able to share in the funding for this. And so we were really excited to jump in and create this opportunity that we can promote in our service area to help everyone living here who's already experiencing a lot of the financial difficulties related to breast cancer treatment. In the past, I believe it was either 84 or 89% of people that have called the helpline asking for funding have been looking for funding for transportation assistance. And that was actually identified as one of the top 3 barriers to care to receive screening and treatment in our service area. So we're really excited about this being an opportunity that we can share with the community and help address that barrier to care.
Jennifer, may I jump in here and say that those funds are also dedicated to chemotherapy drugs, for pain management medication, a lot of things that we're super excited about, and also a healthcare navigator to help people identify resources that are available in our community. So, and that will be for everyone who calls the hotline and qualifies. And it was interesting in our research how many people easily meet that 250% of the federal poverty line. We're talking about a lot of people who are working, who just don't have the level of insurance they need, have selected high copays on deductibles and those kind of things. And once they get a a diagnosis that's so expensive, then what funds they do have go really, really fast. So we're so excited to be able to do this in our community.
Okay, you can go to the next slide. So these are the 10 parishes that we serve. As I tell everyone, we go from Tangipahoa to the Atchafalaya River and the Felicianas and St. Helena down to Ascension and Iberville. And in this service area, when you look at this map, it is 10 parishes. East Baton Rouge Parish is the only parish that's actually considered to be medically served. Everyone else is considered medically underserved. And out of those parishes, we have 5 target parishes that they definitely don't have screening. They have lower income, higher poverty levels. They have a higher percentage of the population that is African American, which is one of our target populations, because in the African American population, while they're not diagnosed at a higher, they're not initially diagnosed at a higher rate, but they're diagnosed later stage at a higher rate than other populations, and they also have a 40% higher death rate than any other population. So we want to make sure that we're getting screenings and education to everyone, and especially those who are at a higher risk. And as I said earlier, 75% of the money we raise stays local for education, screening, and treatment, and the other 25% goes to provide funding for research. So it's all still helping our community, because when the money goes to research, it can go towards like research on clinical trials that people can enroll in to help find better treatments. So our local efforts, so we have a couple different things we do. The breast health education, which everything on this screen is what I do on a daily basis. So we have education, we have symposiums, which is the Komen Breast Health Initiative. You may or may not have heard of it. We rolled it out the weekend after our race last year, and we actually have our next one the weekend after the race this year. So I stay on the road, but that's where we go into churches and community centers in our 10 parish service area. We share in-depth breast health education, nutrition education, and we teach the attendees exercises they can do at home, because we know that leading a healthy lifestyle can reduce your risk for breast cancer and other medical conditions. And so we want to give you all the information you need to make healthy choices and to get access to the care you need. We do Worship in Pink every October, where we provide pink ribbons and breast health educational materials to churches in our 10 parish service area. And we also go out from time to time with Women's and Mary Bird Perkins and provide breast health education at their screening sites. In regards to grant funding, I touched on that earlier. This year, we are providing funding for Women's and Mary Bird Perkins. And our grant funds can be used for breast health education, screening, and treatment. That can also be used for patient navigation and transportation if the grantee is interested in applying for that. So if you're on the call, if you know anyone who works for a nonprofit that serves our 10 parish service area, they are eligible to apply for grant funding as long as the money is used for breast health services. And we usually release our RFA in September. And then public policy. Every year we do Capital Day for the Cure, and I'm actually working on planning that now as well. So that'll be in around May, I believe, this year. And we go to the Capitol and we advocate for a couple of different things. Well, first off, we provide breast health education to all the legislatures, which they can share with their constituents. We also, if they haven't funded the tumor registry and they haven't funded the Louisiana Breast and Cervical Health Program, we also advocate for them to fund those programs, because those are additional resources that are available to the breast cancer community. So, Angela, you can go to the next slide. And so we are the largest nonprofit funder of breast cancer research outside of the federal government. So over $956 million has been funded in research since 1982. This year alone, metastatic breast cancer, I believe it was like 41.7% of all the grants funded were focused on metastatic breast cancer. They're looking at other aggressive forms of breast cancer, triple negative, luminal B, screening and detection, and then the access to care as well. They are doing a lot of research on the healthcare disparities too. So, next slide.
The next one is for Amy.
Okay, so
yeah, so I guess we really just wanted you guys to know kind of where your fundraising is going and how important fundraising is to our organization and how the donations are being used. So we really just wanted to enforce that first. But as far as donations go, so all of you guys as team captains, you guys can either have your donations made to a specific participant, to the team, or to the race event. If you have it, if people fundraise on your team and they get somebody to donate specifically to them, it'll also be credited to your team. So you can make sure that that'll all be credited to you guys. So yeah, so that would be probably our recommendation, is to get them to donate to the specific people if you want it to count towards you as an individual, because it'll also go towards the team. So, and then when you're fundraising, you can also communicate that to the donors, just so that way they're aware. So yeah, that's kind of what I mentioned, just that it will go to your team total. And yeah, if anybody has any issues on your team with somebody donated to just the team and one of the team members wants credit for it, they can be redirected if needed. So you can reach out to us, shoot us an email, and we can make sure that they get, that whoever the fundraiser is gets the credit that they deserve. So Angela, if you want to go to the next slide.
Sure.
All right, so I'm not sure how many of you guys have used kind of the participant center yet, but if you go to ColemanBatonRouge.org and you go up to the right-hand corner where you can log in and then go to your fundraising center. And for team captains, you'll have specifically a participant center. I'd love to show you this, but I'm not a team captain, so I can't pull it up. But this is a really great resource, especially probably for you, Katie, being a corporate team, and you too, Leanne. But basically, you can pull up a lot of information about the participants on your team. So if you need their names and addresses to send thank yous, make sure that you've got everybody together. And then also when you come and do packet pickup, it's very helpful as well, because you can pull it and go in all at once, get everything you need, and then make sure you have all the right T-shirts and everything like that. So yeah, so these are some of the information that you can get through the participant center, just to make sure that you know who's on your team and just be ready for them.
There are those occasions when friends and family might join, like a friend of the family or something like that, and there's occasions when you don't know everybody and you're trying to hunt down people to get them their T-shirts or whatever, and this can be a helpful resource. Ready for me to move on?
So when you participate in a team, do you pick up everyone's team shirts at once, or do they go pick it up individually? I guess this is our first year doing a team, so that's what I'm trying to understand the logistics.
Okay, yeah. You can really do it either way. It's probably best to just come at once. So usually if you give us a heads up of like a day notice before that you're coming, it's easy enough to come grab everybody's and we'll have it waiting for you. Otherwise, if you need to pick up yours and somebody else needs to pick theirs up at a different time, in this presentation there's a slide saying all the different packet pickup days. So yeah, you could go at any of those times.
Okay, great.
If you pick up your team, just make sure that you have a list of their sizes. Even though we have that, it's very helpful to make sure we get everything right when you pick up as a total team. So that was very helpful last year when people came to pick up their teams. We just made sure we had everything correct and together, but it's always good to double check.
Okay, and we've had a couple out of town family that's gotten a little confused and they wanted to be part of it, but instead of donating, they registered, but they're not really going to walk. And I know y'all said earlier we can like move, if someone, donation needed to be moved around. Is there a way to correct that, or is that just kind of too much of a hassle?
No, do I understand they've registered, but they won't be attending? Is that correct?
Right, like they're out of town and
Yeah.
they wanted to be there in spirit, but instead
Sure.
they really should have done is donate to the team, but instead they registered to run, but they're in Houston and they're not coming to town to do it.
Yeah. Well, we can do it two different ways. We have what we call virtual runners. And those are the people who are either going to sleep in that day or they're out of town and they can't be here and they are running with us in spirit. So we can call them virtual runners and have them as members on your team. And
Okay.
you can have, you can have their t-shirts. You can either pick them up or we can designate them and then, and get them to them via mail, or if you want to make some kind of correction, we can get you with Martha, our registration chair, and she would help you walk through what, ultimately what you'd like to see happen. But if you'd like to count them on your team and they can be here with you in spirit, then we can certainly call them virtual runners and they can be counted among you. It's up to you.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right.
Okay, yeah, so I guess the next thing we wanted to go through was just using social media to fundraise, especially in this day and age. Social media interactions are huge, especially with getting the word out of what you're trying to do in fundraising. And so I guess our biggest things that we try to aim towards and suggest that you aim towards if you're trying to use social media to fundraise is really making sure that that you communicate the awareness of our mission, and that way people really understand what their money is going towards and what the cause is, and not just that they're donating money. It's not like we're a fundraiser, right? We're not like the reindeer run or some of those other runs that they have in Baton Rouge, and so really just making sure that there is a cause that they're donating towards. And it is important. And then also you can use your social media to recruit different team members, fundraising, of course. And then also when you share different things on social media or when you interact with our social media page, it also helps increase our reach. So you might not realize it, but somebody who's in one of those parishes that you're friends with, who you haven't talked to in a while, might see something that you post or that we post, and it really could help us get the word out about what we're doing and really just help impact even more people. So, Angela, if you want to go to the next slide. So right now we have a little, I guess, incentive to help get people to register. So it's called 2 by Tuesday. And so basically the idea is that if you're registered and you get 2 friends to join your team by Tuesday, basically all 3 of you will get a $5 Raising Cane's gift card. And you'll get that with your packet pickup. So if you get 2 friends and you on one of our okay, and then you have to tag your 2 friends. Sorry, you have to tag your 2 friends in one of our Facebook or Instagram posts, and then you'll get your $5 gift card. So it's a fun little promotion for our race, but it's not. You won't be entered into a drawing, or you will get your $5 gift card. So hopefully we can get some more people to register and really spread the recruiting of the race.
So, Amy, right here, I just want to say we've had a couple of people say, what if I have like 4 people or 6 people or whatever? I would say the best way to do that is to have someone on your team tag them and just to quote Raising Cane's, share the love. It would just allow more people to be able to get those gift cards, and they are very generous. They've given us quite a large quantity, and so while supplies last, we're gonna do that. And so if you've got 4 friends, then have somebody else on your team go to one of our posts and tag them, and just let's involve more people. So.
Okay, and then as I was explaining before, that really your interactions with us on social media are really helpful for us, just spreading our reach to the community and making sure everyone's aware of our organization. So you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And if you post anything trying to recruit for the race or fundraise or anything like that, please use the hashtag ComanBR. And we also have a Race for the Cure event on Facebook. So we created one of the events. Feel free to share that as well so you can communicate that out easily. Okay. Next slide.
Yes.
Then, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. There's something I think we left out, and if we get a little bit further down and I see where we've missed it, we're just going to make an edit as we go, Amy, because I want you to talk about Kit Kat too.
What was that?
The Kit Kat. If for some reason it got left out, I will make an edit as we go.
Okay.
Okay.
So this slide is really just a quick and easy way to I think some people feel awkward asking for donations and don't really know how to start with their fundraising. And so this is kind of what we suggest is if you ask 10 friends to donate $10, you've already raised $100. And it's easy to really try to convince somebody to donate $10. A lot easier than asking one person to donate $100. So this is just kind of a place to start, but definitely don't limit yourself to this. And $100 used to be kind of, I guess, our target, but now it's really $135. And the reason that's our number is because that will pay for the cost of a mammogram. And so, well, this is a good place to start. 135, I think, should be everybody's starting goal, really, just because that means that you helped fund a mammogram for somebody who needed it. So, you want to go ahead? Okay, and then there's also an app like a phone app that you can use to help boost your fundraising efforts. It's basically your fundraising center and participant center that you can find on the ComanBatonRouge.org website, but it's a pretty concise, condensed app. I downloaded it not too long ago. It's pretty cool. You can see who donated. You can post things to Facebook. You can send emails. It'll tell you when somebody donated to you, and so I suggest downloading it. It is called SGK Fundraising, or SGK Fundraise is that the title. There is a separate one for I think it's SGK 3 Day or something for the 3. That's not the right one. Go with the SGK Fundraise, and if you log in, you'll be able to see all your participant fundraising information. So, and it's pretty cool too because it collects year over year, so I can look back at past years and see how much I fundraised and who gave what year over year as well. So, if you want to go to the next slide. So yeah, I've mentioned this as well, that really $135 is our starting target for everybody. And for right now, while supplies last for this as well, if you fundraise or donate $135 or more, you'll become one of our More Than Pink heroes. And so you will get a cape like you see in that picture, so you can wear it around town, wear it on race day, and really help spread the word. So we ask that if you do receive it, you'll get in your packet when you come to pick up your packet if you fundraise or donate that much. And if you end up doing any sort of fundraising wearing the cape, make sure you tag us with the hashtag ComanBR so we can know. I see Leanne Miracle is on the call too, and she got her cape, and she was sporting it on riding a golf cart down the road, and so she posted a photo of that, and it was a fun way to try to help incentivize getting more fundraising. So.
I think
I
I'll
go to the next slide?
on wearing a cape all day long and how you really should mind your cape before you go to the bathroom and things like that.
Are you?
I think she sleeps in that cape. I'm telling you, she's
It's right.
very fond of her cape.
It's here.
I like it. That's awesome. All right. Yeah, so if you have any more ideas about social media or anything like that, Chrislyn is our social media chair, and she does all the social media posts and everything. You can definitely get with her at socialmedia@colemanbatonrouge.org if you have any questions about how to use Facebook and Instagram and the different fundraising centers. She can definitely help you out.
Before we leave,
Next one.
yeah, but before I do not see where the slide. It's very recent, so I don't see where the slide got added. But the post on Instagram with Kit Kat. Do you want to address that, or would you like me to do so?
Sure. So we're working with partners with, I guess, a kind of a Baton Rouge social media presence. He's got an Instagram account where he typically uses his Instagram account to show new bars and mostly restaurants, I think, and new food around the area. And he gets invited to different new restaurants that pop up, tastings, and just first time openings, and then also just good food in the area. He'll post it, and he's working with us to really help promote Susan G. Komen. And so he's only on Instagram, and if you want to follow him, it's KIET_KAT. And right now he's doing a promotion where if you register for Race for the Cure and then you also donate or fundraise at least $50 by March 2nd, he's going to do a drawing on March 3rd, so that's race day, and you could win up to $600 in gift cards to Baton Rouge restaurants. So some of the ones that he has listed on it is Ava Street Cafe, Burke's Bistro, Cafe Mimi, Crispy Catch, Go Yaya's, Izzo's Illegal Burrito, Lit Pizza, The Cabin Restaurant, The Heavenly Donut, and Umami. Umami? I don't know. But basically, they're all Baton Rouge restaurants, and it's over $600 worth of gift cards. So what you have to do is you have to go to his page, and once you've donated or fundraised that $50, you have to go to his page, like the photo, and take done in the comments to be entered into the drawing. So I definitely recommend doing that and getting some other people on your team as well to do that. And hopefully one of you will win. So Angela, was there any more you wanted to say about
No, I think that's great. I just wanted people to know about it because I think $600 worth of gift cards is going to be a lot of fun, and maybe to some restaurants you've never tried before. And this is a good way to do that.
Definitely.
Okay. I think it's Chris. Chris is up next.
Yep, fundraising tips. Okay, guys, make the first gift yourself to show your commitment. Get the ball rolling. The participant center set a personal and team goal, and that way you can, like, between the app or your Facebook page or whatever page you decide to do, it's really neat to see. It keeps up with you. It actually tells you, like, if you raise any money that week or, where you're at. And then with the app also, when someone's made a donation. So that is really, really cool. Keeps you motivated. Don't forget to use the social media, workplace matching gifts. Find out if your workplace does matching. That's a great way to raise money and get the company involved. Send a letter, reuse your holiday card mailing list. All your friends and family, take the top 20 people. Ask each one of your team members to write down 20 people they know, and then download the list. It's on the website, 101 fundraising ideas, and there are some terrific ideas. And I think we've got listed just a couple on the next slide. So leave a spare change jar at your desk and encourage your coworkers to drop their spare change at the end of the day. Pull your kids by hosting a lemonade stand, bake sale. East Baton Rouge DA office had a bake sale. I mean, people love to eat, and it's always fun to do a bake sale. Some people do a taco day at lunch, at work for lunch, and it's very inexpensive, and people love to donate or do a potluck and raise all the money for your teams. Host a house party. Tell your friends and family why you run and ask them to support you with donations. And veterans, tell us your success stories. Find out from other people too how they've helped raise money. I reached out to all my friends and family last year, and it was so exciting to see the support that I received last year just by reaching out. And really the $135 to pay for a mammogram was really what I focused on to help raise my goal. Next page. Kendra Scott. Angela, talk a little bit about Kendra Scott.
Sure. So we have a great friend in our local, Kendra Scott, at the Perkins Road location. They will host a party, a give back party, according to your schedule. It can be on a Saturday afternoon, a Sunday afternoon, a Tuesday night, whatever works for you that's available in their schedule. And they will create an invitation that looks much like this for you. You can email it out to your friends and family, put it on your social media, your coworkers, etc., and then come, and within that 2 or 3 hour time span there, whatever purchases are made in the store, not just your friends and family, but any purchases that are made during that time span, 20% of it will go to benefit your team. The check, the donation will actually come here, but they will let us know how much it is, how much we should credit you for, and then once it's received, it'll be applied to your fundraising total. Now, because fundraising goes on through March the 31st, you can do that before the race, or you can do it sometime during the month of March, and it will be applied to your fundraising total. And you just call them, tell them that you want to do a give back, and get with Kelsey Baines over there, and they'll set you up. It's very turnkey. They provide the goodies. They provide the lemonade and the champagne and the cupcakes and all of the cookies and all that kind of stuff. So really all you have to do is invite your friends and y'all come in and have a good time.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good event. Okay. Do you want to talk about jambalaya? Well, you want me to talk about jambalaya, or do you want to
Either
talk about
way,
jambalaya?
what you tell me what you.
Well, why don't you talk about jambalaya, since we had some changes.
Okay. We have navigated having jambalaya at the event. We were used to the LSU campus, and things were a little bit different. But we are going to be able to have the competition. We're excited about it. It's actually in a very nice location, right off of AZ Young Park on Lafayette Street. And the competitors can drive in, pull up, unload their jambalaya pots, their tents, etc., and set up even the day before or early that morning, and get situated and ready for the competition. The fundraising that takes place during this competition can also be applied to your team's fundraising, and that's why we're talking about it. But there's no entry fee. We do ask that they supply the items to cook, but there's a 30-gallon, a 10-gallon, a 5-gallon pastelaya, and we've also added a beginner's 5-gallon this time too, for someone who wants to come out and cook. There's a lot of guys, especially who are interested in learning how to cook jambalaya, and a lot of people who have a 5-gallon pot and a burner. So when they come out and participate, there's going to be people there who really know the ropes, and they love rubbing shoulders and swapping techniques and all that kind of stuff. So if you know somebody that's interested in coming out for the day and learning how to cook and throwing their name in the hat for the competition, this is a really good way for somebody who's interested just to get started. And it would be a great investment because they're going to help provide food for the runners, but in addition to that, there's a fundraising component, and we do have what we call Jambalaya for the Cure winner amongst those 4 different categories that were listed on the previous slide. And we have that top fundraiser and the cooking team that donates the most. Either fundraises prior to the event, and then there's also a large bucket that is at each jambalaya pot during the event, and people can come through and they can drop donations during the time of the competition, and then we will take those and add those up, and then award that day during the announcement of the other awards, what the who the top fundraising team is. They can go online. They can go to ComeInBatonRouge.org to register. We'll also be sending out a link in the next email to our team captains so that you can send it directly onto someone on your team that's interested. And the fundraising that they do during that time also goes to your team's fundraising. So they get credit that day for fundraising and for the top fundraising competition. And then you also get credit for that fundraising on your team. This year the bibs have tabs on it, and we're going to have some folks there to assist the cooks with taking those tabs. And then there's also for folks who may not be registered, or who somebody just wants additional tickets or whatever, for the food and the beverages. We'll be selling those. Actually, it says bracelets, but it'll be tickets, 5 tickets for $5. You can't go anywhere and get 2 bowls of jambalaya and a couple of beers and a snow cone for your child for $5. So it's just another way to add to the fundraising total, but also, make it cost effective for families. So does anybody have any questions about the jambalaya competition in particular? Okay. We'll be sending that link out so that you can send an email right on to your friends and get them signed up if for some reason they're interested in supporting your team in that manner. I think next is packet pickup. Is that you, Chris?
Well, I can do package pickup. So this next package pickup is going to be this Saturday coming up at the Mall Louisiana from 10 to 4. It's right next to Williams-Sonoma. So definitely available there for registration, donation, questions. So we have teams ready to go for you there. So that's the next one. And then on Sunday, we're going to do it at the office, and it'll be from 12 to 3:30. So you can pick up your packets there. And then Wednesday at Raising Cane at Denham Springs from 4 to 8 p.m. Thursday, it's at Raising Cane in Prairieville. Then Saturday, February 24th, Mall Louisiana, again, 10 to 4. You see, and then Sunday, the Mall Louisiana, 12 to 4 on the 25th. And then Friday, the location is going to be dated. That's
you know what? Can I go back to that?
Yeah.
How do I do that? If I could edit, can I edit right here? If I can
Yeah.
edit, can I edit? I'm going to try, guys. No, it's not letting me. Okay. That we actually have a confirmation from Albertsons at College Drive, right off the interstate. It's very centrally located, and we're going to be there at that time.
Okay, great. And then that morning from 6 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. at AZ Young Park. So a lot of great opportunities for y'all to pick up your packets and ask questions, and just we're here to help you any way we can. But this is great. I think what's nice is you have a lot of choices to make sure that you get everything, and just keep adding to your team, because as you can see, we've got up to Friday and Saturday for you all to for people to pick up their packets and their t-shirts. Okay, any questions?
Chris, I would say some people say, what happens after I picked up my packet and I have additions to my team? Well, you can just come back again, or they can come as an individual and pick those up, any additions after that.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
So keep recruiting. Okay.
And I would say that's probably easier, especially if you have a big team and you're trying to distribute a lot of t-shirts, and you're trying to catch up with people at work and in the neighborhood and, in the family or whatever. It might be easier to go ahead and at least pick up what you has been confirmed, and help yourself out by starting to get that distribution of those t-shirts out. So I think you have important dates. Or is that you, Chris?
Yep. Okay. So February 20th, we've already done January 31st. So February 25th, team registrations, members can still join your team. Last day to be eligible for largest team award by category. March 3rd and 4th, Brunch for the Cure. Angela, you want to talk about that?
Yes, it's a third-party event with numerous restaurants throughout our city. Last year, it was very, very productive and a lot of fun for our community. The third-party event, which was hosted by Baton Rouge Brunches, and who is a part of it again this year, as well as some other folks who are coming on board, raised over $11,000 in brunch in 2 days, and that goes for a lot of of services in our area. So we're super excited to have that back again. There will be more information they're organizing now on a listing of the participating restaurants. In the future, it'll be shared both emails and then social media as well.
And it was so much fun, y'all, last year. I highly encourage it. Just kind of a great way to celebrate from the race on Saturday, and just and also support these restaurants, which is fantastic. How they support us. And then March 31st, the fundraising ends. So you do have up to March 31st to continue to raise for your teams. All right, next.
And how do you sign up for the Brunch for the Cure?
I'm sorry.
How do you sign up for if you wanted to participate in Brunch for a Cure? If you're a restaurant, is that already determined, or?
No. we would love to have the Rum House. I'm kind of in a mood for a taco.
Well, we do brunch on Sunday, and we're already started to do. We're gonna do the Thursday before tacos for Tatas. So it's gonna be our
I love it.
Event.
When you guys have events like that, please let us know, because we want to let people know that those events are out there, and so
that was my next question. Is how do we, we've posted it on our social media, and I thought we tagged Komen, but maybe we didn't do it correctly. But so maybe I can email that information to someone just so that it's, y'all are aware that we're doing that, and then also would like to participate in the Brunch for a Cure, so I want to get us signed up to do that as well.
We would be delighted. I got your number. I'll be getting in touch with you offline and getting you with the right people, both to share information about your event. The Tacos for Tata.
Tacos for Tata.
I love
Tacos
it.
For Tata.
Okay, good deal. And we'll let folks know about that, and then also we'll get you with the people who are organizing the brunch event.
Perfect. Awesome.
We would love it. Thank you.
No, thank you. Sounds like a plan.
Okay. This is team tailgating. Team tailgating, y'all, this is so cool. I mean, who else gets to literally tailgate at the steps of our state's capital? And by the steps, I mean actually in the street right in front. There will be security overnight, but let me tell you that because the governor has called a special session, our street closure times have been modified, and so we're going to all have to work together and be a little, it's going to be a little fluid. So, but let me go on to the next slide first and then come back to that one. We had, because there's limited space, number one, and number two, because we're a fundraiser, we wanted to set some criteria. And not every team tailgates. And if for some reason your team doesn't tailgate, that's fine. If you don't reach a certain level, that's okay too. There are lots and lots of landmarks around the Capitol, steps and fountains and all kind of places you can locate to meet your friends and family, so that everybody can gather up. And there are park benches, and the lawn is just gorgeous out there. So there's, you can sit on the lawn and enjoy each other, or sit on a wall, or like I said, some steps, or listen to music, or gather, enjoy your jambalaya together. There's lots of places for that. But if you are interested in tailgating, we have a $500 minimum, or 25 people registered on your team. We had originally thought we might go with a $500 fundraising minimum, but what we learned in feedback, and we want to accommodate as many people as possible, is that there are teams that are restricted from fundraising. Their employment, for instance, some government employees, they're not allowed to do solicitations. So we wanted to take everyone and their circumstances into account the best we could, and so we said at least let's reach a certain registration limit so that we can accomplish our goal. And so a minimum of 500 in fundraising, or 25 people are registered on your team. And then we do have some premium spots for the first teams that raise $2,500. They're up in the venue a little further. But those teams that are going to be on Spanish Town Road, and the circumstances surrounding the special session, that is supposed to be the last day of a special session, and the probability of them, closing up shop early and getting out of there is pretty high. But we just don't know what that's going to look like. So we're going to work to accommodate our tailgaters to the best of our ability. Once we get an indication that the session has finished, we're going to let everybody know via social media and with an email, so that they can plan to come and place their tents in an orderly manner in that area. Now, what we're basically targeting is probably after work, say starting about 5 o'clock or something like that. And we thought by that time there'll be enough folks who have cleared out from downtown that if for some reason we can't set up tents in the street, at least we can start to let people set their things out on the sidewalk. And like I said, we will have street closures, we will have security guards, and we will have officers at those street closures overnight. So the next morning, the teams could potentially come through and put their tent, set their tent down in the street where their items had been sitting on the sidewalk before. And it's probably going to require us to allow folks to come in early that morning and set up as well. We know some people are traveling some distances, and it could be inconvenient for them to have to come to Baton Rouge twice. And so the cutoff for that is, like I said, going to be determined based on when we have to have these street closures. But it's highly probable up until about 6:45-ish a.m. Like I said, that's a tentative time when folks could unload and begin to set up their tailgate. We are going to keep we're going to have tents on the both sides of the street, and then we're going to leave the middle for an alley. It's actually the pass through to get to the start and finish line, which is on 4th Street. So there is no cooking permitted at all in that area. That was one of the stipulations for us being allowed to have the tailgate, that there's no cooking. Now, people can bring food. They can bring anything they want, hot, cold, whatever, just plan not to have any kind of a cooking source with it, a flame, etc. I can tell you, you can keep so many things hot in an igloo. It goes both ways, not just cold, but hot. So if there's something that you want to keep warm, that's an option too. I've literally cooked a turkey in an igloo before, more than once. So I know that it can hold some substantial heat if that's a good a suggestion for anybody. So but that's pretty much what is going on with tailgating that we know at this time. Does anybody have any questions about that?
So I just want to comment, you guys, both your teams are doing awesome and have already met that $500 requirement. So you guys definitely have both secured your tailgating spots. If you want to tailgate, that's already ready for you guys. So
good deal. Perfect.
Great.
Good deal. All right. And on race day, please encourage your participants to wear their bib. New this year, you're going to see across the bottom 5 tabs that can be for whatever's out there. It can be for jambalaya, it can be for beer, it can be for soft drinks, it can be for the snowballs, the smoothie king, all the above. Those items are available, and if for some reason they're you run out of tickets, or you have someone who maybe attends who has not registered, this is an option for them as well, to make the purchase of the tickets. We have a couple of booths located real conveniently for folks. So it's right up in the proximity of all the food and beverages. And then in addition to that, the race day schedule is, like Chris had mentioned earlier, the packet pickup begins on race day registration at 6 o'clock. The packet pickup that day does not include team packet pickup. At that point in time, we're only providing packet pickup for individuals. And so any team's packet pickup would be concluded on that Friday prior to over at the College Drive Albertsons. And once again, any team's packet pickup that you want to do, we need about 48 hours notice. You can email Chris and Amy just simply by using Teams at colemanbatonrouge.org, or call in the office here at 225-615-8740 and letting us know so that we'll have time to pull that for you. We'll have it all ready. We can check our list against yours and make sure everything's there and send you on your way. We want to accommodate you. We don't want to hold up the line. We don't want to make you have to wait behind anybody, and that allows us to do that. The Survivor breakfast begins at 7. And then the Survivor celebration with the parade starting at 8 o'clock. Now, let me just say this: for any survivors that you have, there was some trepidation going downtown. How are we going to accommodate the survivors? We thought about a number of scenarios in which we provide some handicap parking, but we came up with an even better alternative than that. We are actually going to be doing a video where we leave the interstate at North Street and come down North Street and show people exactly where they can drop any survivors off, any of those folks who aren't mobile. And it's a great way to have them accommodated very, very close to the venue. And then even if they need assistance beyond that, we're going to have golf carts waiting for them to even take them further on into the venue. But they're very, very close right there. And immediately across the street starts parking on the River Road. And then to accommodate parking, all the state parking lots around. There's street parking, and there's also parking in Galvez garage, and then also in the Old State Insurance parking garage as well. So there's lots of parking options available right there. And like I said, we have a really good solution to accommodate those survivors, especially the ones who aren't mobile and can't walk a long way. Prior to the Survivor celebration, once again, those who aren't mobile that are on your team, we have a bus that we will, a nice, comfortable coach bus that they will all have available to them, and they will follow along the route of the race. And so, and then at the end of the race, we will let them out of the bus and allow them to cross the finish line and receive their roses and their medals and all those wonderful things that are waiting for them there. The start of the race is tentative at 9 o'clock. And why I say tentative, we might start the timed runners just slightly earlier. But we will make sure as we work through this new course to make sure and let folks know in plenty of time so that everybody can get where they need to be when they need to be there. So, questions?
Nope, I think I'm good.
Everybody's good? Okay. Team, is there anything we left out?
No, I think it was great. Was this helpful for you guys?
Absolutely. No, I really appreciate it. The more information, the better.
Especially when you're new, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, and if anything else comes up that you weren't thinking about today, or if somebody on your team asks you and you don't know the answer to, feel free to email us at any time at teams@colemanbatonrouge.org.
All right, will do.
Good
You
tip.
have
And Leanne, I just wanted to let you know also that there is what we call a tribute tent, where we take time to remember those who've lost their battle. So hopefully that'll be something that will be an important place for you guys. So,
Thank you. I do have one question about the no cooking. We were planning to cook until I just heard this that we can't.
I'm sorry.
Any tips or suggestions? So if they, obviously now we'll have to change it and they'll have to cook at the house and then bring it. Like you said, the igloo, great idea. Any tips on the closest place for them to park so they could get the food there easily, or what's my best option?
I'll tell you what, if we are going to do our best to accommodate you guys coming in and out of that area until we have to close the streets for them to start setting up, like Acadian Ambulance and the BRPD command and just all those things that have to be put in place. A lot of them are mobile and they can drive right up, but at some point in time we have to close the road down to put all the timing things out for the runners, etc., put up the truss thing and all that kind of stuff. And so I'm thinking it's going to be almost close. It's going to be close to 7 o'clock when we have to do that.
Okay.
So I guess that's that's part of the plan. And then we did talk about the igloos, but another suggestion, and this because I've done a number of these kind of things before. A lot of times in a movie or a TV show, you'll see people who are homeless who are covered with newspaper. Newspaper, honestly, really holds in heat very well. I've done casseroles and things before where I've almost wrapped it like a Christmas gift with like butcher paper. Butcher tape, masking tape, those kind of things, and done like 3 or 4 layers, and it holds in the heat beautifully.
Okay.
So if those are some options that I know personally work very well. With the state property right there are just so many stipulations that it was a requirement that we couldn't do anything about.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
I should have listened to this before I planned.
So what are we having for breakfast?
Well, actually, they were going to cook pastelaia for after, but
Yeah. Look, pastelaia is gonna hold an ice chest. Like it's gonna be great. You would be surprised.
yeah, it'll all work out fine.
Yes.
Even if it's a little cool, it'll be all right.
There you go. So anybody else have questions? I just want to thank everybody for being on the call tonight. We knew that we would have a low turnout, but we also knew that when we had our first meeting and we had so much rain involved in a number of people said, I'm not going to be able to come, etc., that we needed to do something different. And this was a good time because we recorded it. We're going to send it back out, the link, and so people can listen to it. We expect a lot of people will be visiting the call and hearing it at a later date. So thank you guys for participating.
Thank you. Appreciate the information.
Good deal. If like Chris and Amy said, if you guys need anything else, just give us a shout. They're at Teams, plural, TEAMS, at Coleman Baton Rouge, spelled out, .org, or you can call us here at the office at 225-615-8740.
All right.
Okay. Everybody have a good evening, and thanks again.
Thanks, Angela.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I'm trying to figure out how to get out of here.
You too.
Bottom right-hand corner, leave meeting.
It says help.
Well,
Mine doesn't even say leave meeting.
This is being recorded. I'm gonna stop y'all. We look silly.